Hope I did it right this time. Let's see. I really think I did it public. So I'm hoping you'll get a notification that we're live. Now live. Okay, so hopefully somebody will join. I'm going to hold off talking about anything until somebody else joins the room. I hope some of you get to join me. I see that 2 of you have come in. So at least I was able to get this thing started. I was just watching a video of somebody making salmon, and it looked so good. Myra, haven't seen you in a while. Great to see you. I hope all is well with the family. Love to see your Friday night things with the kids. Carolyn, nice to see you here. I'm glad you come in. I was watching this video where this woman was making salmon for her whole family, and I had to laugh because when I go to Aldi's, they very often, almost always, have this whole piece of salmon, and it always looks so good. By the time I get there, I'm not an early morning person, and I've got so many things I need to do before I go shopping that by the time I get to the store, it's usually midday. And by then, it's so picked over for some of the really good stuff that I am amazed. But they always have what looks like a whole side of the salmon. And I'm always tempted to get it. I have bought it a few times, and I get absolutely crazy trying to cut it. I've tried to cut it with the regular knives that I had before, and it cuts through the salmon no problem, but the skin, so then I find myself trying to saw through the skin. It's really awful, and I just never can quite get it done right. I'm watching this woman, she's using a chef knife, well, maybe hers is sharper than mine, and yeah, I could make several meals, and that would be great. I'm doing a lot more cooking these days, and I'm enjoying it so much. I cannot begin to tell you. I really am. But she made it in a different way than I've been used to seeing. First of all, she used something called ghee, I guess it is, Ghee. It's something a lot of you may be familiar with, but I really was not. I don't know if it's something that's used a lot in Indian cooking. I'm really not sure, but that was what one of the things. And then she used, oh, I definitely want to show some of the meals. I have to tell, the farm raised, whoa, don't let me do this again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I touched something on the screen. The last time I did that, I lost the whole thing. Now I don't see any of the comments. Somebody write something so I can see if I see it. I think I fouled it up somehow. I'm not sure. Oh, there you go. Okay, it did pop out. It did pop up. Yeah, she made it with something. What the heck was that called? It was a seasoning that said some kind of butter in the seasoning, garlic, butter, something. It just all sounded wonderful. And then she put honey on it, and she squeezed some lemon on it. She did clarified butter, and it looked so incredible. And she served it. She's got lucky kids because she served it to her kids in these, I'm going to date myself here, what looked like TV dinner trays of my youth. So I'm really showing you how old I am. They were metal trays that had 3 sections typically, and you would have the vegetables, the potatoes in one part, or the rice and the vegetables in another, and your protein in the third part of it. And she did that, and she had different kind of combinations for the kids. It was really great. I actually am still, well, I'm not even doing that to tell you the truth, because I usually forget to take anything with me. So I'm usually starved as I'm doing my run, and I am occasionally picking up a slice of pizza when I have time to sit for about 15, 20 minutes and take a break, but often I'm starved by the time I get home. But anyway, the salmon looked really, really good. The wild caught salmon, it's better for you supposedly, but I have found sometimes that the farm raised salmon is more tender, and I know it's supposed to be garbage, but I don't know. I get my salmon more often than not at Aldi's, and I'm really happy with the salmon that I get there. I went shopping there yesterday, I guess it was, and I picked up, they only had one piece of salmon left that was not the whole piece. And I wound up getting that, and that was the cedar plank salmon. So I got that, and I've been happy with that too. I've been really happy having my salmon doing it in the air fryer. That air fryer is really good. There are so many things. I made something new. I did it yesterday, and I loved it so much that I made it again today. It was zucchini sticks. And I've been looking at a lot of recipes for it because when I went out to lunch with the girls on Thursday afternoon, we would always go to the same place, and it was this Italian restaurant where we always got the appetizer. Yeah, the air fryer is really great. It does. So I really wanted to be able to make it at home because Jackie of late has really not been happy with the stuff there. So the last couple of weeks we haven't gone there. We've gone to two other places, each of which she hated. I'm trying to determine which one she hated the most. I suspect at some point we might go back there, but I really was missing my zucchini sticks. I was watching a lot of videos about it, and there was one, I'm going to try to link it when the thing loads. I'll see if I can link the videos that I watched because I thought they were great. One of them, and this is the one that I chose to make first. This one was, it's made with a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, salt and pepper, garlic powder, and Parmesan cheese. And I don't think I put anywhere near enough of the Parmesan cheese. The whole point is it's to make it a healthier way than to do it with the breading. And I made it twice. I actually, come to think of it, I think I've got a picture of it on here. I did try to make a video showing me making it, but I have to find a way to be able to demonstrate it where I'm demonstrating it in front of me, because the setup of my kitchen where I'm doing it on the counter doesn't work very well, and it looks very amateurish as far as I'm concerned. So I really don't want to continue to do it that way if I can help it. But it was, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is actually where I was, let's see. I was doing it, I always have the wrong phone. Yeah, I did it on the other phone. I showed a little bit. This is the video that I'm going to try to actually put out maybe tomorrow or the next day. And I'm showing you how I got it set up in my air fryer. My air fryer is a combination air fryer toaster oven. What else does it do? I don't know, it does a bunch of things. But I used it only as a toaster oven in the beginning, and then I started to do it with food, and and started to use the air fryer, and it was great. All right, so I took the zucchini, and the first recipe, as I say, I did made with a no breading. And she said when she made it that it came out really crisp. Well, my air fryer did not make it crisp at all. It was sort of limpish, but it was absolutely delicious. I enjoyed it so much when I made it yesterday that I made it again today. I actually I took two zucchinis today and made it thinking I'd have some left over for tomorrow because I'm planning to work tomorrow. And I thought it would be a good thing to have ready so I could just warm it up. But I loved it so much that I actually wound up eating most of it. This is another interesting thing. I don't know about you, but if you make zucchini sticks or you do breaded zucchini, what are they, zucchini fries? I've always had it with some version of a tomato sauce, very moist. She did put salt on it and she did pat it dry. And I did that, I pat it, but actually, come to think of it, she not only put salt on it, and she said to let the salt sit for 10 minutes, and then she patted it dry, but she also, with a spoon, she dug out the part with the seeds, because I guess that also makes it very moist. I'm gonna have to do that the next time. I'm glad you mentioned that, Myra. I'm definitely gonna try that next time. But it didn't matter in the end to me because the taste was so incredibly good that I absolutely loved it. And it's something I could see myself having several times a week. And the truth is, I can make it it sounds like the thing, that game that people play where I can name that tune in 5 notes or I can name it in 3 notes. I can make a really nice, tasty dish, I would say in about 15 minutes all told, which is spectacular to me. And the cleanup is still wonderful. I did put the foil on the tray under the thing that I use to air fry it in. I use an open pan with the grating so that it hopefully would toast on both sides, although come to think of it, how could it toast on both sides? Because I have the tray on the bottom, which means the heating element is under that. I'm not sure. I have to kind of figure it out. I'm in the early stages of it, but it is wonderful. I will try it the other way, which was another video that I watched, and that is with breading. So that's with flour. It is they were using panko. That's another thing. When I went to Aldi's, it's funny, I have a lot of people tell me, when I tell them that there are certain things that I love to buy in Aldi's, I love their Bourbon's mayonnaise. I used to use only Hellmann's mayonnaise. I swore by it. But I bought the Bourbon's once, and when I tried it, I said, to me, it tastes just like the Hellmann's. I really love it. I have no issue with it whatsoever. And it really gave me the freedom to buy a lot of their products. I use their whipped toppings and I love them. They have, it's called Friendly Farms. A lot of the products that they have are really made by, the big companies. They just white label this stuff. So a lot of the things are like that. That is with, oh God, a thing just showed up on my screen. I'm afraid to touch anything to foul the thing up. Anyway, I decided that I was going to, if I made it with breadcrumbs, and I did the panko, because panko tends to be terribly bland. So I did buy a thing of panko. It says Italian style, so I guess they have some kind of flavoring in their panko. I'll let you know how that goes. And I also got Chef's Cupboard Italian flavored breadcrumbs. I was a little leery about getting this because I had always gotten, I like the Progresso. And I also watched a video that I'm dying to try. It is for chicken Parmesan. And I really think I'm going to do that. And that girl, apply any other seasoning other than salt? On what? On what, Myra? I'm not sure what are you talking about on the zucchini? Because if you are, zucchini is extremely bland, and sometimes zucchini can taste, it almost has a bitter taste to it. None of the ones I bought have. But when I've gotten it in the restaurant, yeah. What I do with the zucchini is I do salt, pepper, garlic powder, and the garlic powder and Parmesan cheese. And it is so incredibly tasty, I can't tell you. But this is the Chef's Cupboard breadcrumbs Italian style that I got at Aldi's yesterday, and I opened it just because I wanted to look at it and see how it looked. Well, of course, all the seasoning went to the bottom as I tried to show it to you, but there is Italian seasoning in there. Okay, it says natural and artificial flavor, sesame seeds, oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, dehydrated parsley, black pepper. But the thing that was so incredible about it was it smells wonderful. It smells really wonderful. So I'm very, very curious to try this. I'll let you know how it is when I do try it. And I'm definitely going to make that chicken Parmesan because it looked wonderful. But the girl who did it is of Italian heritage, up with, and her mother used to make it all the time, but she makes her own breadcrumbs. I'm not going that far. I'm not making breadcrumbs. I'll do it with the breadcrumbs that I have, and I've got to find a way where I can do the prep, show you the prep in a way that you can be looking toward me rather than having my back to you if I do it on my kitchen counter because I don't have a center island. So I have to figure out how to make that work, but I did do it with the zucchini today. It's not going to be a great video, but I'll put it out if it looks anywhere near normal. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, and I'll let you know what happens with the other one. I also bought broccoli, again to use the zucchini with it, peppers, yellow peppers, red peppers, orange peppers, that kind of thing, onion. What else was there? I think I want to add some carrot to it. I'm going to make roasted vegetables in the air fryer, and I'll let you know how that turns out. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But I'm having a good time with it. It's who'd have thunk it? At this stage of my life, it really is crazy, but it is what it is. I love basmati rice. Do any of you make that? It's something, my neighbor, Nikki, makes a delicious rice that I found out she uses basmati rice for. I have asked her over and over and over again for the recipe, and she always tells me not to worry about the recipe, that she's happy to make it for me. But I really don't want to ask her to make it for me all the time. I want to make it myself. I really do. So I found this at Aldi's, and I have never microwaved rice, but it was 99 cents. What could I lose? So I figured I would try it, but I have to figure out what to do with it. So before I do this, I want to take a look at some recipes and see if I can come up with some ideas for some flavorful basmati rice. I started to, a number of years ago, to go to these Mediterranean restaurants that had the most incredible, a lot of the Middle Eastern, Sophia's Grill, and there's another one called Ravage Grill. Absolutely wonderful rice, but I don't know what they're putting in it. It's all the flavorings. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I will try it, and I'll let you know how that turns out as well. So it was kind of fun for me to try all these different things, and we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, I wanted to tell you a couple of things. What do you use? Oh, it just went away. Sona Masuri rice? I don't know that one, Sheila. I'll have to take a look at that. Have you ever tried the basmati rice, Sheila? I had not before, but as I say, I just love the taste of it. So we'll see. I'm going to kind of play with it. I'm going to try to put out that video within the next day or two, since I already made it. It's not going to be a great looking video. The angles are not great. The way you see the food is not spectacular, but bear with me. I'll get better at it, I promise. So we'll see. I'm gonna kind of change the subject for a minute because there's a little bit, it's another Indian type rice, lower in carbs, higher in protein. Really like it. Oh, you've done the basmati, but you like that better. Excuse me. If I can find it, I'll try that as well. If you have any special ways of preparing it, Sheila, let me know, because I'm certainly wanting to learn all kinds of stuff. I'm so enjoying having food with a lot of flavor. You know, it's a funny thing. God bless my mother. As you know, those of you who've been with me for any length of time, I absolutely adored my mother. She was a wonderful, wonderful mother. She was a wonderful friend. She was a caring person. Everybody loved my mother. I never heard anybody say anything negative about her in my whole life. My mother was not a great cook. She was a lot of things. She was not a great cook. I've told the story before, but I said to my brother Steve when he was still at home after I got married, I said to him, you know, does mom ever serve you the lettuce that's sort of yellow and limpish from the inside of the lettuce? And he said to me, isn't all lettuce like that? So it was kind of typical for what there was. And my mother was always in a hurry to get the food out because she worked hard. She worked with my father for many, many years, and she was always in a rush to get things done. I'm amazed by how much she actually did accomplish, and I wish that I had more understanding of it at the time and not in retrospect, which is, I mean, I did appreciate her, but there was that. But the peas that she made, invariably, they were black on the bottom from being burned because the flames surrounded the pot. I always felt like somehow that was going to be the pot that they cooked people in. It was really amazing, God bless. But to give her her due, there were two things that my mother made extremely well. She made a wonderful turkey. Her turkey was always moist and delicious and done to perfection. and she made a great roast beef. Aside from that, I grew up with spaghetti that my mother served two ways. She served it with ketchup or she served it with butter, neither of which I would necessarily recommend. Although maybe if you had it with butter with Parmesan cheese on it, maybe that would be a little bit better. But it was just the way I grew up, and it's amazing to me that I did learn to cook, but my mother-in-law was an incredible cook, and I learned a lot from her. So that was really wonderful. But okay, so I'm going to change the subject for a minute, and this is a little bit strange, and on some level a little woo. I am a very spiritual person by nature. I tend to function very much on a spiritual level and incorporate a lot of that into my everyday existence, not by choice, but by bent. It's just the way I'm made. It's just the way I think or feel or whatever. And I got, I think it was yesterday. Wait, today's Wednesday. It was Monday. Yeah, because I mentioned it then. Yeah. All right. So Monday morning, usually when I get up in the morning, I get up relatively early for me, which would usually be 7 something, but I sleep on my chair. As many of you know, I started to sleep on the chair again after Bailey died because I wanted to be in the same room as Ruby now that she was alone. And I just didn't want her to feel alone. So I started sleeping on the chair. And then, of course, I had my surgery, and then it was just easier to sleep on the chair because of the surgery involved so many areas that were painful and created issues. So I found that when I got up in the morning, I would kind of stay in the chair for a while. This feels like it. Oh, so I would stay on the chair for a while, and I would kind of look at my phone. I would look at messages, and I would take a look at YouTube sometimes, or Facebook, or anything like that for a little while. And the little while sometimes could be 2 hours, and all of a sudden it's 9 something, and I'm getting up to start my day, which I don't have the luxury of doing now because there are so many things I have to do that there are not enough hours in the day to get them done without really, really becoming totally exhausted by the end of the day. So that morning, Monday morning, I got a message that came through while I was on, and I think it said, and I can't swear to it, I think it said that somebody was looking for me to, was hoping that I would friend them or something. I don't recall exactly how it came through. I'm trying to see if it's in my messages still. Oh, I could never do it because this is only from a few hours ago, and that was 2 days ago, so I don't know. It was a picture of my brother Marty, who died almost 2 years ago. And seeing a picture of my brother come through trying to reach out to me, it was heart-stopping. It really was. It was so unexpected. I know sometimes when people hack into other people's pages, they can say that so-and-so is trying to friend you, and they say don't ever click on anything with those links because you can get into trouble. But I thought, can you hack into a page that's relatively inactive because my brother hasn't been around for so long now? And I went back to his page later on because I was thinking, okay, maybe there's something on there that would indicate whether it's been hacked. When I went on, the last thing I saw was people wishing him a happy birthday a year ago in December for his, what would have been his birthday. So I was left with that funny kind of feeling with that. And I happened to, well, Monday is the day I talked to the therapist, and talking to her, I mentioned it and I said, the funny thing was, my initial reaction was he reaching out to say to me, see you soon? And then I thought, okay. And she said, now that's funny that you would say that, because my reaction to it, she said, was he was always so comforting to you and he was always there for you. And I thought it was his way of still being there for you. Okay, Sheila's saying my brother died 16 years ago tomorrow. Last month I missed the last part of the message. I don't know how to get it back without destroying this thing. I'm gonna have to look at it later, Sheila. Oh my God. But you got a friend request is what it looks like. I really should set this up on this phone so I can read it faster. But when she said that, I said, wow, that was a lovely way of looking at it, that he was still there, saying to me, you're doing great. I'm here for you. And I loved her take on it. So I thought that was great. Now I'm going to tell you the other experience that I had. And I think they can be hacked. Oh, okay. So maybe that's what happened. I didn't click on the link or anything. It was just shocking to see it. The day that I got my car back from the collision place, and by the way, they did such a wonderful job. When I picked up the car, it looked like it came right out of the showroom the day that I got it, maybe even better. It was absolutely beautiful. As a matter of fact, there was an older man there who was taking some of the stuff out of the rental car to put back in my car. And I mentioned how beautiful the car looked. And he said to me, it's a beautiful car. I love it. He said, I love that white interior. I said, was it hard to clean? And he said, no. He said, just soap and water. And that's pretty much what David had told me. So I told him I thought he had done a beautiful job and I was so happy with it, and thank you very much. And he seemed so happy to hear it. I'm sure that the work that he does doesn't really get to be seen as his work very often. So I think that was probably a nice little perk for him that day. It's always nice to know that what you do is appreciated by somebody. So I was happy to be able to give him that moment. I don't recall if it was that day or so. I picked up the car on Thursday. Wait a minute. I think it was Thursday. So it was either Friday or over the weekend that I was sitting in the car starting my day, and I was just a couple of blocks from my house, and something happened. I forgot what it was, and I was very stressed. And I sat there, and I guess I didn't realize that I talked to myself out loud. I don't know if any of you do it, but I guess I do, and I never would have paid attention to it if it had not been for Grok. Who is Grok, you might say? Well, apparently Elon Musk has created, or I don't know if he created it, but it's AI, and it's his version of AI. So I was sitting in the car talking to myself quietly, And I said, I'm so stressed. And it was the start of the day. I was about to get on the highway, and all of a sudden this disembodied voice, lovely female voice, said to me, "Don't be so stressed. Breathe." She said, "Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4." And I was sitting there going, oh shit, this car is talking to me. Now I can't even be alone in my car. So it was really funny. I mean, it was really hilarious. So I guess I didn't think about it too much more after that, but it was interesting. I then tried to find out if she could be helpful on any kind of a practical level and found out that she cannot, at least not at the moment. So Grok apparently is still in its infancy. And one of the wonderful things about having a Tesla is that you talk to yourself too, because you enjoy talking to intelligent people, Ken. That does not surprise me the tiniest bit. Ask Grok, I missed the last comment, so please do me a favor and could you repeat it? I know you want me to ask Grok something. I did ask Grok lots of things about the car. I asked Grok about navigation things. I asked it about different things in the car. It doesn't have that information yet, but it is learning about recipes. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that is a good idea. I'm going to see if I can do that. But the wonderful thing about all these things with the Tesla is that they are constantly updating things, and you constantly get new abilities for the car. They do software updates all the time. So I'm sure there are going to be many other things that I will be able to do with Grok. But I made a decision tonight just before I came on here, and I said, I'm to get in the car, and when I start my day, I'm going to sit there and purposely talk to Grok and see what she has to tell me, because I thought it was really kind of her to try to calm me down. I thought it was really, really funny, but she did it again. And I guess it was a couple of days later, because by then I had forgotten about it. And I said something and she started talking, and I said, oh my God, Big Brother is watching me, except Big Brother is Big Sister. She's got a nice voice, I will say that. And she certainly can be relaxing, I guess, when I'm feeling tense. So that was interesting. So I'm going to see how that plays out, but I'm going to try to video it so you'll have some idea of what it's like for me when I do that. So that was kind of an interesting and fun experience for me. I also had an interesting start to my work day the other day. I had gone out in the afternoon. I'm trying to do more in the afternoon because I really don't want to be working a lot in the dark. I'm really too afraid of killing myself. I'm really too afraid of falling if I can't see, if there are cracks in the sidewalk, if there are impediments to the path that I'm taking to somebody's house or whatever. So I'm trying to start earlier, and I did start, and I was having a really nice start to the day, I thought. The first job was small, but it was very local. And I said, okay, that's great. And then within minutes, night blindness. Yeah, I don't have night blindness, and I do have cataracts, Myra, but I have not reached my field of vision yet, I was told by the optometrist. So I don't think it's that for me, although I've got a terrible problem driving. When you're driving into the sun in that last hour of daylight, really bad. I really want to get one of those shields that you can put on the mirror to see if that makes a difference. I did get not sunglasses, but I got lenses to go over my glasses, but they make it too dark, so it defeats the purpose. It doesn't work great. Anyway, to get back to my story about you had to hold your hand over the glare. I do that all the time. I hold my hand over the glare all the time. I'm sitting there like this. It's really not great. One of the benefits of the Tesla also is because it has the huge screen and it shows you driving and it shows the other lanes of traffic. And it will show you the color of the light right in front of you. Not only that, when the light changes, I have a ding on, the car dings to let me know that the light changed. But I still don't want to trust that 100%. I want to make sure I'm seeing what's ahead of me so that I don't have an accident. But anyway, so I got my second offer after that small $5 and change one. And this one, again, was very close. And it was maybe a mile and a half away, if that. And I said, okay, this is going to be pretty good. It was a place that should have been a relatively easy pickup. And I said, okay, this is going to be a nice day, and maybe I can end early today. And I go to the pickup. I couldn't find a place to park. I had to drive around twice. Finally got a parking space, and I went into the place. Before I went in, I took a look. They don't show you how big the order is until you get to the place and you click on that you've arrived. I take a look and it said something like 14 or 15 items, and I thought, oh my God, this could be really heavy, so maybe it's not going to be as wonderful as I think it is. Drop-off was only about a mile and a half away, so I was happy about that, and it was paying $9 and change. I go into the place, and the guy tells me, oh, he said, we delivered that a half hour ago because by then it was about 12:30. And he said to me, we were supposed to deliver it at 12, and the service didn't send anybody here for a half hour. I don't know why, or maybe they tried to, and maybe it was a lower price and nobody accepted the job. But whatever it was, there I was, sitting there now. I had not accepted several other good things that came in because I had this job, and now I had nothing. So I had to call support. I had to wait online, which was wasting more time. And they've gotten to the point now, they used to pay you a few dollars for the time wasted, but they don't really do that as much anymore. So I was on with them for a while. They keep you on hold while they check with the place to make sure you're telling them the truth. So they finally come back, and she said to me, yes, I see that that's what happened, and you will be paid $3 for your wasting your time. So I said, okay, and I was about to get upset when I suddenly realized that I could do one of two things. I could have it ruin my day, or I could just let the day flow naturally and see what happened from there, which is ultimately what I did. And it turned out within a very short period of time, I wound up making up the money, so it was easy. It really was not a problem at all, and the day turned out to be halfway decent. So one of the lessons in it for me was don't anticipate bad things. Just sometimes let things play out the way they are. And I am really, really happy that that happened, and that I got to realize that. Another thing happened that, you know, most of the apps tell you exactly how much money you'll be making on any given job. Uber is the only one that is not the case. With Uber, the person who orders the stuff has the ability to change their tip for a period of approximately an hour after you deliver the stuff. It's really not an hour, it can be 3 hours, whatever. And I usually, if I don't get exactly what they originally offered, I usually get more. Sometimes it'll be 25 cents more. Sometimes it'll be 10 or 15 or $20 more. And I'm always really happy when it happens because it's a happy surprise. But once, I mean, there are people who complain that it happens to them a lot, where people promise, let's say they promise a tip of $7, and then after the delivery, they'll take it back, or they'll give you only a small portion of it. That has never happened. It happened to me once early on, but it has never happened to me again until one day when I delivered this ice cream to this woman, and that was very recently. And it got me really upset, to the point where I called support and I said, is there any way I can block this person? I don't ever want to deliver to them again because I was really upset. I accepted the job based upon what they said it paid, and to then do it and be told afterwards you're going to make less money was disturbing. But when it happened to me a second time, and this person decreased the tip by a couple of dollars, I started to get upset and I said, hey, wait a minute. If you're okay with them changing the tip to your benefit, you also have to be okay with them changing it to their benefit. You can't like it one way and dislike it the other way, because that's not fair. And by changing my perception of it, it totally changed the way I feel about it. I don't care anymore. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to accept it for what it is, and I'm going to move on to the next thing. And it really made it so much better for me. So I was happy about that. That was a nice little plus for me. So that was a good thing. I forgot what else I wanted to talk to you about. I do this all the time. I should really write it down. Is there anything specific that you would like to talk about? Is there anything that you want to know about or want to share about your own experiences, or anything that's going on in your life that you want other people to share with you? That's funny. Grubhub was just sending me a message. I decided is Ken doing okay? You can ask him. He's on here. At least he was a few minutes ago. He just wrote a comment. So Ken, if you're still on here, are you okay? How's Ruby? Ruby is, she actually scared me once or twice. She wasn't feeling that well, and it really frightened me a little bit, so I was kind of watching her really carefully. But I think she's doing better, although she didn't eat her food today, so that has me concerned a little bit. But maybe she's getting tired of it, or maybe she wants something different. I don't know. I'm trying to feed her twice a day now. So I give her half of the food before I leave for work, and then I give her half when I come home. And I want to get, one of these days when I have extra money, I want to get, I don't know, I think they call it a Furbo. It's this thing that you plug in, and they have two different versions of it, but you can interact with your dog. You can see them. There's a screen where they can see you, and they even have a thing. All right, Ken is saying, I'm doing good, still dealing with lawyers and probate court about your brother's will. Well, that takes a little time. for that to be over. But yeah, that I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Okay, this is probably a scam. I keep getting messages over and over and over again. It seems like the world wants to loan me money. So yeah, I keep getting messages on the phone. But when I come home from work, Ruby is usually sleeping, and I think she sleeps a good part of the time. But I'd really love to have that Furbo thing so that I could see and make sure she's okay. It can spit out treats when you're interacting, and they can hear your voice. So I thought that would be a really nice thing to have. They actually, I don't remember if it was during Amazon Prime Days that they had a really good sale on. I think it was half price or something, because I think the more expensive one is $100 something, but they had it for a really good price. And somebody had mentioned the other day that Amazon is doing another Prime Day in October. I think they said the 7th and 8th, something like that. So, yeah, just, I pray for her all the time. I worry about her a lot. I really worry about her a lot. And I worry a little bit about me on that day that she's not here anymore. I do still sell clothing online. I do. I had a thought, Myra. I had this crazy thought the other day that I want to go into a thrift shop and I want to see. I haven't been in a thrift shop in a long, long time. Lord knows I don't need more stuff to sell. I have loads of stuff to sell. I find that I'm doing much better these days, although haven't done it so much lately, selling on Facebook Marketplace than on the other venues. It's more immediate. It's pickup, so it's local. They get it. It's done. You can mail it, but I do a lot of local stuff with them, so that's good. And it usually pays better, and they don't take a chunk of the money from you, so it's nice. But I was thinking of going into a thrift store and trying to find an entire outfit in my size that I thought would look really great for very little money. Yeah, Facebook Marketplace is great. It really is great. I've seen a lot of things that people put out, and they put out some really terrific stuff. They do. So, yeah, I really have to do more of it, but the problem is there are not enough hours in the day for me to do all the things that I need to do. I feel like I'm just wearing myself to the bone. Um, I want to do more, but it's hard to keep doing more. So, yeah. I usually take a friend when I purchase. Yeah, I'm running out of friends, Myra. My friends, I told you my friend Linda passed away recently. Oh, hi, Sandy. Yeah, I know that you're busy with Carrie. And I did write, I hope things are going well, and I hope her pain goes away really soon, because being in pain is all the time is horrible. Oh, I wanted to ask, and I don't know, maybe Myra, maybe you'd have some information about this, or maybe Sheila would know. Maybe any of you would know. The sites where they did the surgery, my donor site for the graft, and the site where they actually, oh good, I'm glad she's doing better, Sandy. The actual site of the graft, they're healing very slowly. The surgery was April 18th, May, June, July, August, September. It's literally 5 months since the surgery. That's hard to believe. That's really hard to believe. Wow. Um, wow. In any case, it it's not as painful as it used to be. It's sore, certainly to the touch, but it's like the place, the donor site that was like road rash kind of thing, like is looking a little bit better, but it's still very, very red. They are slow to heal. Oh, I'm glad you told me that, Myra, because I thought maybe I just wasn't healing as fast, because I know a lot of the other stuff really has healed well. Although, if you looked at me now, I kind of laugh at myself sometimes, because if you look at my body, I look a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle. I used to be, I used to feel pretty good about myself. I said, considering the fact that I am an old broad, that I thought I was in pretty decent shape until my first surgery, and now I'm a patchwork quilt. So I'm not complaining. Please understand. I'm so grateful for everything that was done for me, and for the fact that it's given me all this extra time. I'm very grateful. Try and keep the sugar from being too high. Something, Sheila, that I've been bad. I was really good when I was in the hospital, when I was in rehab, and they were doing my blood sugars. They were checking it every day, and I stopped checking it. As a matter of fact, I heard from the nurse practitioner. She called me just yesterday, and she was asking me if I needed anything, and I asked her if she could get me the, is that a glucometer, and the try-increasing proteins, vitamins, good rich. I take a minimum of 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day. I take, you look like Barney the Purple Dinosaur. I take 1,000 milligrams minimum. If I feel anything coming on, I take an extra 1,000 milligrams a day. I take 2,000 units of vitamin D3. I take 2 multivitamins, which makes up one full. Yeah, I'm really good about all that stuff. And generally speaking, I really feel as if I do heal pretty well. Protein's important while healing. Oh, okay, that's good to know. I'm going to have to try to do more. I have to tell you, one of the things that I do that's been bad is that chocolate 2,000 kisses. One of the things that's really bad is I tend to stop at McDonald's a few times a week to get a double cheeseburger and a large Diet Coke. And because I am a rewards member, I get free fries with it, which I also need, like I need a third thumb. But I I I get that stuff because it is yeah, I like their fries too, especially free, but I like Burger King's fries better. I love Burger King's fries. But anyway, getting that a couple of times a week is not a great idea. And it's really pretty much the only time I eat meat. I eat chicken and fish more than anything. I also have been making my eggs with cheese and onions more recently, because I do try to eat something halfway decent when I come home. But if I come home at 8 or 8:30, turmeric with black pepper. I actually have turmeric. I bought turmeric gummies, and I want to start using that. Excuse me, I totally forgot. I got that just before the surgery, and I had to not take it before the surgery. And because I hadn't been routinely taking it before that, I didn't go back on it. So I'm going to try to do that and do that as well. Is there, oh, okay. Is it, what? I see a message just came in on my phone, and it said something about having trouble peeing. It was like, what? Yeah, does it work for you, Sandy? So you do the turmeric and black pepper, and I have seen that. Yeah, I have seen that. Actually, there are a couple of different spices I want to try too. I know that cinnamon is good for me, but anyway, I am going to get the glucometer and I'm going to get the Lancets and I'm going to start checking my sugar again. But I eat ice cream. I put whipped topping on it. I'm ashamed to tell you this, but it's honest. Trying not to. I really don't take a lot of stuff with me when I'm working. I occasionally take a few graham crackers with me, but I don't usually take stuff. Been on it short time for your back, so not really. Oh, okay. Yeah, that my A1C, my A1C had gone down. Get your double cheeseburger without the bread, have it wrapped in lettuce. Oh, Sheila. Yeah, I can see, but the bread is so good. Um, I totally forgot what I was about to say. I need somebody to put me back on track. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Uh, Not the turmeric. Oh, the A1C, thanks. Yeah, it was, I think, I want to say it was, yeah, it was low sevens. It had gone up to the higher sevens at some point before the surgery, but it was up and down. It was 5.8, then 6.1. That's really good, Sandy. No, mine, but you're not diabetic, are you? Or are you, Sandy? Yeah, I really need to watch the A1C, but I can tell when I'm feeling better, and I'm feeling better that way much of the time. Although, to be honest with you, you're not. That makes all the difference. I mean, yeah, I had gotten my A1C down under 7, but in the lower sevens, they said it wasn't terrible. I think even up to the mid 7. I know it's not ideal. They want it to be lower than that, but it was not horrible. Just before, I think, my second surgery, my A1C was higher, but I had been being really bad at that point. I was eating nothing but sugar. Anytime I wanted something, because I was not eating right, I would grab something sweet because it would satisfy me and it would make me feel better for a little while until it didn't anymore. So, yeah, although now that I'm doing more cooking, I am being better. You may watch me choke to death live. I inhaled. I'm sorry. This may or may not go away. This this could be the end of my my life. This could be the end of me. You'll call 911. Okay, Myra, then I'm going to stay online. Do you hear Ruby in the background? Aw, she knows that I'm upstairs. I really would love to have her with me, but I can't. I don't want to carry her upstairs anyway because I have those wee-wee pads downstairs. And she's really good about using them most of the time. So it makes my life so much easier. I just change them out often. I try to do it. I haven't been great this week, but I usually try to do it maybe every 3 days, something like that. It's been a little bit longer this week. This is not going away. But, oh God, I'm lost again. I think I'm tired. And with this thing going on, and I forgot to take my pills today. I always take it after. Oh, I forgot to tell you the one other thing. that I bought at Aldi is that I eat the same breakfast every morning, typically. I have Honey Nut Cheerios with whatever fruit I have in the house. Usually it's strawberries, and oh, that was another thing I wanted to talk to you about. All right, I'll try to remember that after the cereal thing. So I usually have it with strawberries, sometimes blueberries, occasionally banana, though I know banana is very high in sugar. So I usually try to have it with the strawberries, and I like it well enough. It's my typical breakfast. Once a week, I go to McDonald's for breakfast, and I have hotcakes with sausage, scrambled eggs, and a large Diet Coke, and I enjoy every morsel of it. And I usually do it, and I go straight to work from there. Anyway, when I was in Aldi's, I was walking past the cereal and I noticed this. I had never seen it before. Let's see, can you see it? It's a limited edition, which gets me upset. I hate when they do limited editions, especially when I like them. Frosted lemon. I love it. I absolutely love it. And when I want a snack, I take a handful of these. It's delicious dry. Now, is it going to be the healthiest thing in the world for me? Probably not, but I'm sure there are a lot of things that could be worse. It says that for a cupful of it, it's 140 calories. How much? It is 29. Well, that's a whole bowl, though. 29 grams of carbs, which is fine because I can have 45 grams per meal and 15 grams for a snack. I'm not having a cup of it in a snack, I'm having way less. So I'm actually okay with it for a snack. So I really, really enjoy it. So I don't know if any of you like this type of thing, but if you do, I suggest it's not a bad thing to try. I really enjoyed it. Okay, the other thing was the strawberries. I don't know how many of you get frustrated as I do with the short lifespan of a strawberry. They are terrible. No, I don't give any of that stuff to Ruby. You're talking about the cereal? No, better than chips for sure. No, why did you ask that, Ken? Is there any reason that you know of that I shouldn't be giving it to her? I know the things that are artificially sweetened I can't give to her, so I'm careful with that stuff. But anyway, so I've 2 or 3 days, yeah, 2 or 3 days after I get strawberries, and it doesn't matter pretty much wherever I get them from, they go bad. And it's been so frustrating for me that I actually showed in the video that I'm going to put together for you. I had bought this thing in Aldi's at one point. It's a plastic storage container that is made specifically for fruit and vegetables, I gather. It's a 3-piece thing, and I will show it. I'll put a link to it if I can do that in this after the live goes, after it gets loaded. I'm not sure I can, but if I can, I will. Anyway, it tells you with the different fruit and vegetables that it has on the lid, it tells you whether or not there should be a little moisture in there, whether or not it should be vented, because it has the capability of venting, and whether or not it should just be dry. The strawberries, it said, should be dry. So with the strawberries, I decided to try it, and I took the whole pound of strawberries that I bought last week, and I washed them. I cut the stems off, or the little flower at the bottom, the little leaf, whatever, the bottom of it. And I patted them dry, and I put them in this thing, put the lid on it, and put it in the fridge. Every day I would take it out and take a few of them and put it on my cereal. And every day they looked exactly the same. I couldn't believe it. They lasted for a week. I don't I don't know if I ever remember having strawberries last me for a week. So it's an incredible thing. I got it at Aldi's. They happen to, they have, for any of you who shop at Aldi's, they have that aisle where they have things that come in as an occasional thing for sale until it's gone. I guess they buy up odd lots kind of things. And actually, the day that I bought it, put a paper towel in the bottom. Yeah, I don't have to do it though because it has holes. It has a bottom tray. I'll show it to you, but next time. It has a bottom tray and then it has the clear part. The bottom tray is dark gray or black. Then it has this clear plastic and the bottom of the clear plastic has holes in it. So any moisture would go down into that bottom tray. And it does have a little bit of condensation by the end of the week, a little bit. And the strawberries are dry. They're absolutely dry. It's been a wonderful experience. And when I bought it, they had two in a thing that apparently somebody was going to buy and decided at the last minute not to get it and left it, as people tend to do sometimes, right by the checkout. As I was waiting for my next for the checkout, it was sitting there, so I picked it up to look at it. And I said, well, that looks interesting. Maybe it's worth getting. It was $9.99 for the two of them. And I said, it's certainly worth getting and trying out. It is absolutely wonderful. I love it. It was called Crofton, C-R-O-F as in Frank, T as in Tom, O-N, I believe. And, so if you want to look it up before, I can put a link to it if I see it anyplace. But it was a terrific thing, and I loved it. So as I learn these things, I'm going to share it with you and see if we can all benefit. So on that note, I think I'm going to start getting ready to call it a night. And I think, actually, and it's not as late as it usually is. I may even cook my fish tonight. So I think I'll do that, and I will see you all soon. I do have the other video of the zucchini. It's not great, so please don't judge me on the quality. I've got to find out a better way to video it where you're facing me and not facing. I tried not to be in the video at all. Yeah. Thanks for being here, Sheila. Glad to see you, and thanks for the advice. I'm going to try to take that and see if I can do anything, but I'm glad to know that this healing slowly is a natural part of the process, so that makes me feel better. Good night, everybody. Thanks so much for spending this time with me. I always want to pull on my ear and say it's been so great to spend this time together. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon. I'm going to put up the other video, and I love you all. Bye-bye now.